Hey everybody, it's Prep for Life, and today we're going to do another car-based review. A lot of this comes around the fact that my daughters are starting to drive, right, and need reliability when they're out and about. First for my wife and then for my daughters, we started looking into these little, jump starter packs that you can find. I mean, they're all over on Amazon. Costco has one. I think one of my daughters actually won one of these at like a work party one time with her company. You've probably seen them all over, and there's a lot of different kinds. Frankly, what worried me is we had an instance where, my wife's car, it's just a straight 6-cylinder, no issues at all. It actually failed to jumpstart the car one time. And it was, I think, if I remember right, it was 1 bar down. They say they like to have you, most of these will say make sure they're topped off and not depleted at all, but most of them should still be able to do a jump start on at least half a battery. Well, that got me a little worried, right? And especially in my truck, I've never actually carried one in my truck because, well, it's a truck, right? My previous model was a 5-liter gas engine. I've since changed over to an eco diesel, but at the same time, I didn't think any of those little ones could actually crank my engine should my battery die. For my wife and my daughters, I just simply, I went with these battery jump starters because I didn't want them to have to rely on strangers. Now for me, I tend to get out there into the wilderness. We love all seasons, warm weather, cold weather, it doesn't matter. That's a great way to test your batteries. But I had a company reach out to me, Wagan Tech, and I looked into these guys as they reached out. They're pretty reputable. And what I liked about it, for one, was the company name. I mean, I found these guys products for sale at Home Depot, on Best Buy. They're well known. It's not some cheap, Chinese brand that you're going to find on Amazon, which again, some of those work, some of them are utter crap. So these guys reached out and they had a new product here, the iOnBoost Torque, that they wanted me to test out and review here on the channel. They were kind enough to send over the iOnBoost V8 Torque, right? So they did have a previous iOnBoost. I think you can still find it on Amazon. I have not seen these yet on Amazon for sale, but these are the Torque model. This iOnBoost V8, the original version, would crank start or jump start either a 5-liter gas or a 3-liter diesel. That's actually since changed. Now with the newer models, from what I'm told, it can do up to a 4.5-liter diesel and a 6-liter gas engine, whereas the iOnBoost V10 Torque will have a little bit more on that. It can do up to, with the new model, a 7.8-liter gas engine or a 6.7-liter diesel. This V8 version is going to have 800 peak amps, 400 cranking amps. The V10 version is going to have 1,000 amps total and 500 cranking amps. So there's the difference there. Again, to be honest, I think I saw a video on their website of the guy actually jump starting a 6.5-liter, maybe it was a 6-liter diesel, took the battery, completely disconnected it, and still started the engine. It was a Duramax, just with this little V8. I was really, really impressed because there are some really good products out there that are those massive jump starters, obviously very, very reliable, but not small enough to just fit in a glove compartment or toss under a seat or something like that. So this becomes really, really interesting. We actually just took a road trip as a family, and so what I did is, right here on the side, that's the input. It's a USB-C. I just made sure I had a slot in my car, and I kept this thing charging as we were driving, because we were going to be going kind of really out of range. We were heading down to southern Utah, some of the canyons and Zions National Park and things like that. And being off-grid, I wanted to make sure that we had options. If nobody was around, this thing was topped off, ready to go, and could jump start us. So as far as options here, so the V8 is going to come with the case, obviously the battery jump starter, your cables with a smart connector. It's going to come with a cigarette lighter adapter, that 12-volt adapter for your car, and a USB-C cable. So you can charge it all and be ready off to the races. I think the V10, the difference is that V10 is going to come with an option where you can turn it into the 12-volt adapter. You have a 12-volt output for items that you normally would plug into your car. That's one thing there. Now, granted, like most of these, jump starters, you're going to have a couple of USB options here. In fact, these guys are really smart. They have a normal USB, and then they have an actual USB high-speed charger that's going to do things a little bit faster. But honestly, as far as the flashlight and device charging, that's not really what I have these for. I mean, it's nice in case of an emergency, nice in a pinch, to know that I could charge maybe my phone by emergency if I had to. But really, I'm keeping this thing topped off and charged to make sure that if my truck is dead in the water, I can get it jump started and get it out there. But as far as jump starting this, couldn't be simpler. What you're going to do is take the smart cable, you're going to plug it into the iOnBoost battery, and you'll see the device is actually keyed. You cannot put it in the wrong way, which is really, really cool. Basically, go ahead and connect it. You're going to connect red to red. Black, ideally, you're actually going to connect this to an unpainted part of your frame inside the engine compartment. Now, most batteries, obviously, if you need to, you can still connect to black if you just don't have something available, because these tend to be fairly short, so there may not be too many options there. But as far as I've found, most cars are going to have a little place where, like a bolt or something, you can connect that to. And really, the car should start right up. You don't want to, leave this sitting connected to the battery in the hopes that it will charge your battery enough to start the car. What you're trying to do is actually start the car off of the iOnBoost torque. So what you want to do is connect it, get the green light, and then within the next 30 seconds or so, get back into the car and start it back up. You want to go right off the battery itself, not use this to charge your car battery, okay? If all goes well, everything should be running. You just put it back in and charge it back up as soon as you possibly can. It will tell you when it's ready to charge. You'll actually get a green light saying ready to go. If something's wrong, you're probably going to get a blinking light or an alarm, which is nice because this has a little built-in computer. It's going to tell you if the polarity is wrong, if you hooked it up wrong. In fact, even touching these jumper cables, we used to have fun as kids and spark these together. You actually can't do that with these. If you clip them together, it will actually notice that here in the smart cable, kind of switch things off, make sure that nothing gets short-circuited. So it's kind of a nice fail-safe option. There's actually a connected sticker that's going to show you all the different steps to do this, so you never have to kind of commit this to memory, but also all the different meanings of the lights and the sounds. I found that this iOnBoost torque tends to be pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I like it. I would trust my family with these as well. I'm actually going to start probably buying these to replace in my wife's car and my daughter's cars as well, just because I feel like it's a little bit more reliable. It's going to have the oomph to actually get it done. As far as pricing, the V8 torque is going to be about $120 on their website, and the V10 torque is going to be about $145. So you're paying a bit more than you might for some of the cheaper ones on Amazon or even at Costco. But to be honest, I've been burned by those. I'd probably rather buy once, cry once, if that makes sense, and not be left wishing I'd paid a little bit more money for something that's going to get me up and running. So there you have it. Go ahead and check out their website. I'll put a link below. Let them know we sent you. And as always, please go ahead and give me a like and a subscribe if I've been able to help here. Share this out with anybody who might be interested, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.